Hello, my old Gage friends. Look what I stumbled upon. We're up here in upstate New York in Hyde Park. We're right on the Hudson River. And here is a historic train station. And let's take a look at what it says. Here we go, legends and lore. The ghost train. President Abraham Lincoln's funeral train passed through this Hyde Park on April 25th, 1865. His ghost train, often seen here at night on April 25th. So if you come here on April 25th, there's a possibility that you might see a ghost train. Hey, anyway, that is so cool. Well, let's go down and take a look at this historic train station. And this is the Metro North line, which used to be the New York Central line. A quaint little train station in this beautiful area, as you can see. We're like 5 minutes away from the Vanderbilt Mansion and Teddy Roosevelt's house. This is where Roosevelt probably took a train to New York City, and the Vanderbilts. This was a train station, I believe, that the Vanderbilts used, because their home, summer home, is only about 5 minutes away from here. So look at the brickwork here. Okay, Jim Tate, longtime steam train fan. In memory of Joe Centino, forever and always. So we have some beautiful stonework in here. Thanks for caring for the station. Hyde Park train station. Let's take a look at this chart. Let's probably give you a little bit more history than I'm giving you. All right. Welcome to the Hyde Park train station. For more than a century, passenger trains traveling on the New York Central Railroad's New York City to Albany line stopped at this station. The first station on this site was completed in 1851. President Abraham Lincoln passed Hyde Park on the way to his inauguration in 1861, and his funeral train passed by in 1865. From this came the famous legend of the ghost train, where locals recall seeing a ghost train, Lincoln's train, riding the rails. As a result of expansion of the rail lines, in 1914, the 1851 station was demolished and the current station was built in the Mission style. So you guys can read the rest of that. The station fitted with electric wiring but did not receive electricity for several more years. From 1929 to 1932, President D Roosevelt used the station during trips from his home, like I said, in Hyde Park to Albany as governor of New York. In 1939, the King and Queen of England used the station during their visit with FDR at Hyde Park for the famous hot dog picnic. FDR's funeral train used the station in 1945 for his burial at his home in Springwood. After more than a century of continuous use, New York Central discontinued regular passenger service to Hyde Park in 1953. In 1958, the abandoned station was sold to the town of Hyde Park In the early 70s, the youth of Hyde Park asked the town to let them use the station as a teen center after cleaning up the station. They lost interest in the town, prepared to demolish the abandoned station in 1975. The Hudson Valley Railroad Society gained possession of the derelict station and began restoration work. Since then, the HVRRS has diligently repaired and restored the building to its original condition. The society maintains visitors' hours at the station and hosts special events. All right. I think I hear a train coming. Let's catch it. Could be on the other side, but very beautiful historic train station. All right. Take a look on the inside. How about that? I can see some old vending machines in there. I don't know, let's see if you can see if I block. Well, anyway, it looks like a bubble gum machine and an old soda machine. If I do this, you'll see it, I think. There you go. There's the old soda machine. All right. Let's come around here. It's a beautiful day here in upstate New York in Hyde Park. Here we can see some model railroads, some G-scale stuff, and down at the bottom I see an N-scale layout. Can't get in over here. Take a look at these old signals. All aboard! Check out that old New York Central sign. That train is on the other side of the Hudson River. That's the CSX subdivision line. I don't know if you guys could see that clearly. I think I'm gonna have to step it up a little bit and get myself a real camera. All right, my old gauge friends. I hope you're enjoying this little road trip to Hyde Park, New York. Where on April 25th, you might see the ghost train. Just think, Roosevelt and Lincoln used this same train. Pretty cool. There's the baggage room. Look at the baggage room. I can't wait to jump on to New York Central. You know what, guys? I'm thinking about it. I might start modeling the New York Central Railroad. You have to pick your favorite. And I have the Florida East Coast, and I think the New York Central would be beautiful, but you can't put them together. It's just two different climates. And take a look at that rapids over there, going into the Hudson River. Hyde Park Landing. I guess you can rent kayaks. It's beautiful up here. Upstate New York, Hudson Valley. You can't beat it. Some of the homes up here are breathtaking. They're all Victorians. They're gorgeous. You'll never see that construction again. And they should preserve them. So the next generation and the generation after that and the generation after that can see what early America was like and these early American towns were like. And God bless the USA. And you guys know how I feel about the rest. Okay? All right, guys. By the way, there's my Tesla. Bought it before all the controversy about Tesla. And I really don't care. It's a great car. All right. I'll see you guys on the next shoot. Take care. Hello, my old gauge friends. So now we're driving back up to Route 9 from that historic train station. And this is a very, very historic, I guess this was a stable at one time. But take a look at what we have here. The Parks Department is using that. And the reason why I'm filming is to show you some of the architecture in the neighborhood. And look at the woodwork on that house. I guess those two doors at one time loaded hay, and it probably was a barn for horses. For, who knows, a lot of wealthy people up here. Could have been the Vanderbilts, could have been the Rockefellers. This is all property. I think this property is tied in to this beautiful home that we're going to come up on in a second. See, it says, the sign says Route 9. Okay. You guys are getting a good look of upstate New York. Beautiful mountains up here. And the Hudson Valley is one of the most beautiful areas in the United States. All early American history up here, guys. All the real deal. Okay. Coming around the bend here. Looking at some of these beautiful homes up here. And we're going to go through a small little town that's 1 block long. And you're going to get a good view of that coming up right now. I'm trying to balance the phone at the same time. Yeah, here we go. This is an old town of Hyde Park. You guys want a cup of coffee? There you go. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next shoot. Take care. All right, guys, this is what I was talking about when it comes to a Victorian. Just take a look at the detail and the woodwork and all the trim work on this particular Victorian home. I'm sure the inside is just as impressive. I don't know how many people rocked on that rocking chair. Put a rocking chair out there. I'm sure this goes back at least 150 years. All right. And we're on Route 9. This is Route 9, upstate New York. We just passed the Roosevelt Inn. Let me take a walk down this way. Hyde Park Central School District. This is a very, very quaint small little town. Take a walk with me, guys. Come on. Upstate New York, Hudson Valley. And everybody thinks New York is just a city. Well, it's not. There it is. Hyde Park Hometown Heroes. Harold L. Green Jr. And every one of these posts has a hero from the town. This one is from the Vietnam War. There's people up on the pole here that are from World War II. And here you're looking at the Roosevelt Inn. All right, guys. I'll see you on the next shoot. Take care. So I'm walking now, actually, to see the main house. So we're going to take a little walk, and this is all part of the estate FDR had. The stables are this way. Let's take a look at this board, so I don't have to walk for. All right. Right now we're here. Okay. All right. This was the garden house that I filmed. The Beatrix Ferland Garden and Bellyfield. Right there. All right. This is the visitor center, which is right over here somewhere. All right, let's go take a look at the this is the coach house, and actually there it is, FDR's house. Okay, let's take a walk. It's gonna be a long walk. Anyway, take a walk with me through this historic area. It feels so good walking through American history. Just think, FDR used to be roaming these petways. I guess this is the garden. All right, guys? All right, bear with me. Bear with me. Look at them beautiful trees, pine trees. Okay. We're headed towards the stables. Okay, we gotta keep walking straight. I see Churchill. All right. It's about 85 degrees today and muggy as hell. We've been getting so much rain up here. Let's take a look at these two beautiful statues. This is called Freedom Court. Freedom Court. Okay. I guess this is where they made major decisions in this little courtyard. There we go. FDR, President of the United States, 1935 to 1945. This was erected in 1945. There he is. And this is where they made a major decision in the war. I guess United States entered the war. Let me see what the plaque says. Okay. Yeah, let's walk around this. Freedom of speech, guys. How about that, you CNN and you news broadcasters? Freedom of speech. Thank God. Thank God. Freedom of speech. This is freedom of worship. Okay? Freedom from want. Check that out. And freedom from fear. I think the concrete wall here that we see that was cut into these shapes was part of the Berlin Wall. And did a good job on that. And take a look. My man. All right, Winston. Prime Minister of Great Britain, 1945. All right, let's go. Let's continue on. We'll take a little peek in this garden and see what's in this garden. Oh my God, take a look at this garden. Yeah, let's go this way. Some type of marble monument right there. I don't think you can walk up there on the grass. It says, please keep off the grass. Could this be his tomb? Could it be? I never heard he was buried like on this property. There's a carriage house back there. Yep, that's it. That's it. That's both of them are buried right here. This is Franklin Delano Roosevelt and Anna Eleanor Roosevelt. This is where they're buried. 1884 to 1962 for Anna, and Franklin was 1882 to 1945. Yeah. And we have another tourist right here. I guess checking out American history. 1886 that carriage house is. Yeah. So here we go. We're coming up on FDR's house. Okay. All right. Now we're talking, guys. Now we're talking. Yeah, now we're talking. This is where a lot of decisions were made during the war, World War II. On this patio right here with Churchill. This is great American history right here. God bless America. And we will always be strong. You're getting a good look at this, guys. You want to go see if he's home? Let's go knock on the door. Maybe I'll be inspired. A couple of cannons out here. I was thinking of doing that myself. Keep the enemy away. Hello, Franklin, are you home? Only the ghost. Okay. Historic patio. If you guys go back and Google it or whatever, you'll see some of the old films of this house. Real cool, man. All right, let's go around the side a little bit. Because, you know, we're right on the Hudson. Basically, the Hudson River is a stone's throw away from here. Oh, look at this view. Yeah. Wow. What do you think of the home? What do you think about it? Yeah. What's your opinion?
It's awesome.
Huh?
It's awesome.
Beautiful.
I would like to have one.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think American history, and this is a great part of America right here. That's what I think. I think a lot of great decisions were made right here. As far as the home, it's beautiful. There you go. 110 acres. In 1867, the house was purchased by James Roosevelt. Look at that view. Right over the bank of trees right here is the Hudson River. You could probably walk right down to the river from here. Yep. God bless America. All right, guys, we're walking back. I hope you enjoyed this little historic tour of the Hyde Park area and Roosevelt's home. Now again, I don't know if he lived here year round. I'm kind of thinking that he did, because they buried him right there. I show you where he's buried. This was probably his main residence. You know, he suffered a lot. He had, he was in a wheelchair. I'm not sure for, so. Great men, great men. Let's take a look at the signs. Oh, flies are killing me out here. There you go, look at that. Look at all those people. He had polio. That's what he was suffering from, and Springwood, which is this house, his natural beauty provided a place for reflection, solitude, and personal restoration. Hey, I can identify with that. Everybody needs solitude sometimes to regroup and think about their lives. Look at all them famous people. Hey. The house before, says the house before you today is dramatically different from the farmhouse FDR's father purchased in 1887. Over the years, the home reflected the changing circumstances in FDR's life. In good times, he expanded the house to meet the needs of his growing family and political career. In different times, he took refuge here. In all times, Springwood gave him a sense of continuity and stability. How you like that? Never feel ashamed, guys, if you want to reflect in life and you need solitude or you're not feeling very well about things. Because here's a great president that did the same. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next shoot. I'm going to get back to the car because there's a lot of flies out here. They're bouncing off my head. It's so humid. It's incredible. Take care. God bless America.